really, if you're
Go
ready.
ahead. Sure.
So, obviously, one of the things very, very, very current with what's going on in the world right now, and that is the impacts of COVID-19 on the economy where you are, and what sort of effects is it also having on Apollon, the gym, the nutrition side, everything really.
A couple of days ago, I think about a week ago, I got an interesting email from
Mm.
somebody who sells gym equipment. And I should have sent it to you because I think you would laugh your asses off. That was the funniest and the stupidest email I've ever seen. So this
Mm.
guy is emailing me and he goes, "How are you doing during these difficult times? And hope everything is okay. And obviously challenging times, and we are all struggling, and blah 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 and blah blah blah. And we are here to help you in any way we can. So let me ask you a question. How is your business right now?"
Mm.
It's like,
Yeah.
what business? There is no business. Gym business is dead. Uh, you know, uh, the thing is like obviously, the gyms are closed,
Mm.
so that's a huge problem because especially if somebody depends, if that's his only source of income, owning a
Yeah.
gym,
Mm.
person is absolutely screwed. Not only
Yeah.
that, you also have to pay rent without any income whatsoever. So that's becoming obviously a huge issue because we've been locked down now for about 3 months, I think,
Yeah.
and you know, rent and obviously real estate, especially in New Jersey, New York, very, very expensive.
Mm.
And our governor, who is a piece of shit prick, would not help the businesses. You literally, I think, can be evicted. You have to pay rent, and
Really, no holidays from that.
no holidays from them whatsoever. So being a gym owner, of course, it's a challenge. Being, honest, I'll tell you this: we haven't paid rent yet. We haven't paid rent in April. We haven't paid rent in May.
Mm.
We are discussing with our landlord. It depends on the landlord that maybe we can come to an agreement that we will pay half rent, even though I think it's also kind of unfair. But I do understand that they also have to pay taxes and mortgages and whatever. So I'm trying to be, fair, and I'm trying to come to an agreement where we are seeing eye
Mm.
to eye and kind of we meet in the middle.
Mm.
Uh, but this is my struggle. I don't know how any other one, deals with that problem. I know there are a couple of gyms that are out of business already, and they shut down for good. I think
Mm.
there is over 100,000 businesses in New York that lost their businesses already. So
Bad.
it's an absolute disaster. From a pollen nutrition perspective, things are a little bit better because we are considered essential. So that means we are legally operating. So as you can see, we have sales, we have specials, we're releasing products despite everything. So we're trying to stay as normal operated as possible. I'll be lying if I said that business is as good as before the pandemic, because obviously it's not.
Mm.
I know most brands are definitely struggling, and most brands lost sales, which is understandable.
Mm.
Um,
Definitely.
so sales are definitely down, but I cannot say that we are doing poorly. I think we're maintaining rather well, even better than expected. And I
Mm.
would say that the Memorial Day weekend sale was our best sale yet. I mean, it was
Really,
actually
that's
the
good.
most successful we ever had. So that makes me happy. We of course have loyalty from our customers, and I can't really complain in that aspect. I think we are okay, and hopefully we maintain that way until the country reopens.
Yeah, and that's it. You might be expecting a boom of sales when gyms, fully reopen around the country.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean,
Fingers
like,
crossed.
I do understand that a lot of people lost their jobs, and maybe, gyms and supplements are not priority for them, and I can understand that. But nevertheless, the sooner we open, I think the better it is for everybody involved. Um, right now, I know, like I said, it's a struggle. It's definitely a
Mm.
struggle. For I don't think for most, I think for everybody, even the successful brands, they have to experience drop in sales. I would expect nothing else.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely,
People
definitely.
just aren't needing the supplements as much as if they were going to the gym like normal, and in the same breath they can't necessarily afford the supplements, so it's like a double whammy effect.
Yeah, especially, good supplements are obviously not cheap supplements.
Mm.
And, there are some people who work out at home and they build like little gyms and, they can maintain um, the training, I guess the diet. So, the supplementation. A lot of people obviously still have jobs. So
Mm.
there is possibility to maintain the lifestyle as is. But nevertheless, we cannot rule out the fact that a lot of people have lost jobs, and probably many more will do so as time goes. Because if we are not reopening, I just can't see businesses keep on surviving. More and more will
Mm.
obviously lose their businesses, which
Yeah,
means more people will lose their jobs.
yeah.
Mm.
It's just going to slowly decline, isn't it? More and more until they.
Yeah, even successful, businesses such as Amazon, I think eventually, if this is to continue, even they will take a hit because
Yeah,
no income, no money, no money, no purchasing. That's
yeah,
that's inevitable. So not only small businesses, I think big businesses will take a hit too, and some
Mm.
already probably do. I
Especially with
can't
all the
see
staff
people.
costs. Mm.
Yeah, I can't see every Joe going out and spending money on cars.
no,
No, it's too risky in the current climate, isn't it?
That's
yeah.
it.
You don't need a car anyway. You can't go out anywhere.
Yeah, yeah. People have to tighten up right now their budgets. I mean,
Yeah,
I have to. Everybody have to. I'm pretty sure you have to. I mean, it's
Mm.
just I think that when people say we all in this together, we actually are all in this together. I
yeah,
think from people who are you know um, middle class to rich people, everybody struggles. I can't see this is not affecting everybody. And even if places like Amazon, maybe their stock went up and everything is great and good because people are forced to shop online,
Mm.
the longer this is going to go on, the more people will lose their jobs. It's inevitable that sales everywhere will suffer.
Yeah,
yeah.
of
It can only
course.
stay on the
Mm.
up for so long, can't it?
Absolutely.
I'm going to
Mm.
move into question 2 now, which is what makes Apollon unique and what separates it from everyone else, and what makes it the best supplement brand, basically. Why do you believe in it so much?
Mm, yeah. This came up actually a few days ago also, where I said that I'm not going to go into a fight if I don't wholeheartedly believe that I can win the fight.
Yeah,
Mm.
Um, the supplement industry is very, very saturated. I mean, there are new brands, as you can see, popping up left and right. Some are good, some are shit,
yeah,
typical, just a lot of them. I mean, the magnitude of the supplement industry is just through the roof.
Mm. Mm.
Brands are popping up, I think, on a daily basis. I can't even, I don't know most of them.
mm,
And I'm not going to say that they're all bad because it's not true. Some are actually very, very good.
yeah,
But when we are looking at the labels, and if so for example, if a supplement review channel is looking into labels, I honestly believe that we are almost impossible to compete with.
yeah,
Mm.
The labels are fully loaded,
Yeah,
and
always good that.
I know like somebody like TJ who has a catchphrase, "Labels are just labels," and I love TJ. I think he's a great guy. He's a friend and somebody who has done actually a lot to help Upon grow. But I disagree with that statement, and I told him that I disagree very strongly because yes, if something is manufactured in a basement, then we don't really know what it is in that product. We don't know
Bathtub
the
yeah,
formulas.
ingredients. We
Mm.
don't we can't tell if the product is legit or not.
Mm.
So in that case, maybe label is just label because the label most likely is not fully
Accurate. Mm.
transparent, accurate, honest.
Mm.
So yeah, in that case it is. But if the product is manufactured in a good facility, it has certificates of analysis, if it has maybe independent testing, it's fully transparent, then you do know what's inside the product. And you can't say, oh, you know what, it doesn't matter how much you put in the product, it doesn't have to be fully dosed. It's absolute bullshit because we do know what works. we
Yeah,
we do know that 500 or 1,000 milligram of citrulline will not work like
yeah,
4 or 5 or 6,000 milligram of citrulline. And just looking and by that label, and if the label is accurate, you can't really compare.
no,
no,
Not only that, 6,000 milligram of citrulline will cost a lot more than 1,000 milligram of citrulline. So obviously, a person is actually doing his research, The owner of the company, or for the formulator, knows what he's doing, and they are putting the best product on the market, or at least product that corresponds with what's needed, or what the consumer wants. And that product obviously is going to be very, very expensive. I just talked to one of the manufacturers recently, and citrulline, depends where you shop for it, can cost anywhere between 20 to 50 cents a gram.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's a lot if you think about it. Even if you take an average, 6 grams of citrulline can cost you as much as $2-3.
Yeah,
one gram is going to cost you only 30 cents. That's a huge jump. It's easier to release 1 gram of citrulline, and you're going to be saving a lot of money, and especially you're going to feel it when you sell it to stores, to distributors, where your margins are very, very low. So like, there is a reason why we've been in business for 5 years, and you've seen hooligans. How many? 4. So far, 4 hooligans. Why don't we have just one? I mean, our first one was probably, and still would be, very competitive by today's standards. We wouldn't be the best, but we would be definitely among the best. I still think that we would make top 10. Nevertheless, we changed the formula 4 times. Our 5th one is coming out, I think, in July. So every time we change the label, we have to pay the company who's doing our labels for a setup fee. So we paying more now for the labels. We're paying more for ingredients, because they're either new ingredients or we put more. And we, in most cases, I think we raised the price of Hooligan ever since we released it, maybe by $5 overall in 5 years, even though it costs a lot more to manufacture it these days. So the reason why I think personally that we are rising above the competition, so to speak, is because we actually not sticking with the same formula. We keep evolving. We keep evolving with times. I know we kind of spoil our customers a little bit, because I already get the question, when is the next Assassin coming out? So, I know people are a little spoiled, and I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that, because I do understand that at this point we are competing against ourselves. We cannot be, we cannot keep on releasing. I mean, look at cars. Everybody wants the newest edition. Why? Because the newest edition is obviously better than the previous one. You don't see the car market, the same model staying on for years and years and years. They constantly upgrade it. So you can upgrade your supplements too. And that's, I think, where let's not throw around the word the best, but let's say we are different from everybody else, because I can pinpoint right now to many of the so-called good brands that have been with the same formula for years. They haven't changed. Enigma is changing. We're about to release a new edition. And even though we're not going to reveal yet, we will reveal in a couple of weeks how it is different. You guys already seen the formula. I mean, it's day and night from what we have currently on the market. Day and night. It's a completely different product. It's a lot better. And it took about 3 years to change the formula. But we listened to the criticism. We listened to what was missing from the product. We did our research. And I think this is exactly what makes us better than, okay, let's not be arrogant and say every other brand, but definitely most brands.
Yeah, I was going to bring up a point that actually I've seen very recently, and I think is very relevant to this, and that is I've noticed that companies are using the idea that ingredients can be underdosed and they synergize with each other, and then that's an idea I'm yet to buy into at all. I just think that obviously as people are becoming more aware of what is the clinical dose, I do think that is what is the necessary and needed dose. And as soon as these companies start using that excuse, people are not going to fall for it. And that's where Apollon has always been one of, mine and Craig's one of our favourite brands, because we've never seen anything under clinical dosage, whether it be citrulline, whether it be any ingredient, they're always very well dosed. You're not trying to use this. Oh, if we use 1 gram of citrulline, it will shuttle in the other ingredients and get it moving. And I just think that's a way of cutting corners, and also, obviously, as you said, cutting costs.
Yeah, it's about whether you've got the consumer in mind or your own money in your pocket in mind. And obviously, Apollon puts the consumer first.
Yeah.
Well, we very early into interview, and I guess we already kind of jumping into very controversial topics. But yet, I'm not laughing, smiling, not raising my voice or anything like that. I'm just being myself and being calm, and I'm more than happy to address that because I think you're referring to something that I saw from Price Plow from Ben, where he said that, and again, I want to say this. Me and Ben always got along very well. He's been to my gym. He's been very respectful to me. I cannot say that I have anything against him because, like I said, I usually, typically, not actually always, no, the word is actually never. I never attack anyone unless I've been provoked or I've been attacked. I am definitely not in agreement with Price Paul's policy, and I've been kind of like dancing around it for quite some time. But sometimes you have to call it as it is. And the thing is like I remember Ben said that you don't need to fully dose the product. You know what? Okay, let's go with it. And again, maybe it's a matter of opinion. Let's not get scientific. Let's not get. I'm not going to defend Yeah, I'm not going to defend myself or attack anyone else. If you're, you just brought up citrulline. If citrulline is, it's known that the effective dose is anywhere between 3-4 grams and 6 grams or 8 grams, or even high as 10. But typically we see 6. I mean, that's an average. The desired dose is typically 6 for most brands that are transparent. At the end of the day, if it's a synergy between a couple of ingredients and how they work together, then say, for example, we have 3 grams, or let's go with 2 of citrulline, and we're taking some other pump ingredient, and we put the two of them together, and you're getting a great pump. Say, let's go with glycerol, and this is just for argument's sake. I'm not talking about the synergy. I'm just talking about 2 pump ingredients. We're taking glycerol, say, at 2-3 grams, which is pretty standard. I mean, it's good. And we're taking citrulline at 2. Will you get a pump? I'm pretty sure you will get a very good pump. You will almost certainly will get a pump. You will see it. But you will almost guaranteed not get, unless you're some kind of a genetic freak or you took a lot of sodium or something, you will not get the same results from 2 grams of citrulline versus 6 grams of citrulline.
Of course not.
It's just, it's different. I have 4 grams in Assassin. 4 grams of citrulline in Assassin.
Yeah.
And I have 6 grams of citrulline in Hooligan and 8,000 milligrams of citrulline melee in Bare Knuckle. Bare Knuckle and Hooligan blows away Assassin easily when it comes to pump. It's not even a question. I mean, for me to say right now that Assassin is on the same level when it comes to pump as Hooligan is ridiculous. They're not even close.
Yeah.
And one of the key points for Price Plow was always to say that, for example, NutraBio, that the doses are so on the money, that they do clinical dosing and they fully dose their product, which is actually true. True. That's what NutraBio does. I mean, it's a great company. They definitely putting out good products, so no questions about it. So now to go back and say that it's not necessary to fully dose products, I mean, not that I'm offended by it, but it definitely gets under my skin a little bit. I almost feel like it's directed at me or companies like Apollon, who are really putting full doses. And they, I mean, don't forget, our products are expensive to manufacture. So we're going all out to put out the best possible products for the consumer. Yet somebody says, well, you don't need to do that.
I guess that's the next best line, isn't it?
I mean, if we don't need to do that, and then, I can save a couple of dollars on every product, what's the point? However, when people, unbiased, and people that are, consumers who are taking our products, try it, they say that it blows everything else out of the water.
Mm.
Well, why? But the taste? No, the taste has nothing to do with it. The shiny label, that doesn't have anything to do with it. It's the ingredients and the clinical doses. That's what does the trick.
Yeah, and
that's a
what ingredients
fact.
you put in there as well, because you see so many companies throwing in lots of ingredients that sort of get in the way of one another. They don't work together nicely, and it's just trying to digest too much. And they're just throwing everything but the kitchen sink into the formula and hoping that something comes together. Whereas your formulas, you can tell, are very well thought out. You don't use the wrong ingredients. Like I know
bread and butter,
L-theanine, because obviously it belongs in sleep aids more often than not. So
I have never shied away from criticism. I welcome criticism. I don't like it. I don't like it. Nobody likes to be criticized. But I'll listen to it. When I lost my first fight in Muay Thai, I was 37, I think. I was 37, and my coach, Kansak, not just one-on-one, there are witnesses to this, said to me something that it almost killed me. I mean, it was very hard for me not to cry. And I mean it. He told me, "You're too old. You're too slow. You're not good."
Really?
That was said to me. I think Carolina was with us actually training back then. Well, imagine somebody says that to you in front of your friend or your teammates or something like that. He didn't mean it maliciously. He was telling me the truth. I swallowed my pride. I wanted to. I mean, I can't beat him in a fight, but I wanted to kill him. It really hurt. It hurt very, very badly. Until the point where I realized that it was the truth. I am too old. That's a fact. Most people at around the age of 30, people don't start Muay Thai at 36. People retire at 32, 34. So it's a joke in itself, so I understand that. What I did was I went and I trained harder. I'm not saying it was a good idea, because again, at that age, it's dangerous. The body doesn't recover as fast. And that level of stress on your physique. Well, you were there. You saw the level of training, and it's insane. It's absolutely insane. It's extremely challenging. So criticism doesn't bother me. Again, it does, but at the same time, it doesn't. I welcome it because if it's honest, if it's sincere, if it's true, and it can help me get better, then I have no problem with that. Maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Price Plow reviewed our hooligan, and they liked it. It was actually a very positive review, except one thing. They criticized. Yeah, they criticized that. Again, it wasn't like a bad criticism. It was very gentle criticism, where they said that the amount of tyrosine was a little bit low, on the lower side for day taste, something like that. I mean, don't quote me because I don't remember, but it was definitely said it was lower than supposed to be or for their liking. Well, that dose was 750 milligram. Okay. That was our initial hooligan. 750 milligram of tyrosine is not really low. It's maybe on the lower side, so to speak.
We've seen lower so many times.
Yeah, but it's really, really not bad. I can point right now to at least one company that is considered premium brand that have 250 milligram of tyrosine, which to me, that's low. To me, that's very, very low for my taste. So when they said 750, I didn't like it because, again, nobody likes to be criticized, but I realized that I have to go to the drawing board and I have to fix that. So the next tyrosine, we already had 1,500 milligrams.
1,500.
Yeah, I fixed that. And I can tell you right now, we're definitely not going lower on the next one. And if you see Assassin has 2,000, and so does Overtime. It has 2,000. So nobody's going to be able to tell that I'm underdosing on tyrosine. I made sure that I don't. I took that criticism not in a bad way. I was grateful that they criticized because I felt that, well, they kind of right. I mean, that was nitpicking in a way, but still, it was on the lower side for the way we dose our products.
Yeah.
Funny thing is that recently I saw a proprietary blend that Ben did criticize, kind of, but not really.
Justified.
And yeah, well, that company released a proprietary blend. I didn't see any harsh criticism, and we know the reason why. But the proprietary blend was something about total of 650 milligram. Out of 650 milligram in that mix was tyrosine. What does it say to you? Well, clearly, if there is a couple of ingredients, we can only guess how low tyrosine was. I mean, well, obviously, it was less than 650. It was definitely less than what was my Hooligan 750, which was, by the way, transparent.
It's very,
Why?
very, very obvious. Why?
Why was not? Why, if we are being totally fair, why was that not criticized in the same way as Hooligan was? Well, that's the only obvious reason. That's the only obvious reason, and that I disagree with. I always will disagree with that, and it's just I can understand. TJ told me recently that I'm a little bit too sensitive. I disagree with that. I disagree with it. Actually, yeah, I cry in the movies, and there is a level of sensitivity to me, but not when it comes to supplements. It's not about being sensitive. It's about being proud. It's
Yeah,
about
100%.
being about standing my
Believe in the
ground,
product.
and I believe in my product. And Ben and I, we actually exchanged a couple of messages recently where I said I cannot agree with what's going on because something has to stop. It has to stop. You putting out that this is a great pre-workout. This is our favorite pre-workout of the year. This is our best pre-workout. You keep going with best, best, best. But my question is, why do you use Hooligan before your powerlifting meet?
2 scoops and all I've heard.
I mean, my question is,
Iced him.
me personally, if I'm going in a ring, I'm taking the best to help me with my performance, only the best. That there is no question. So if that's the best, if that's what I'm reaching out to take for to help me perform better and to help me, I don't know, lift heaviest weights or whatever, or get me in the zone with focus. So why it's not discussed as the best? Why it's not in the same conversation? I feel it's a little bit unfair and biased. If you are getting paid for your review, I don't know how many times I said it, pretty much in the open. I don't have a problem with you getting paid. Zero. You have to make a living. That's not a problem. And I'm not going to attack you. But if I feel that you are not being fair to me, and I'm in the same industry, reach out to me and say, Rob, you know what? We're going to advertise your product. We're going to promote you. Pay us this much, and we will promote you, and stuff like that, because we are a marketing firm. Because essentially, you're not a reviewer. You're a marketing firm.
Exactly that.
We will have a conversation, a business conversation, and you cannot, Parasite won the best movie of the year. It won an Academy Award.
Oh yeah.
And it to me it was a great movie. I absolutely loved it. But that's not the point. If the company did not get paid to promote Parasite or at least talk about Parasite as a great movie, it doesn't mean that Parasite does not exist.
Yeah, exactly.
You cannot avoid the conversation about the best movies of the year of 2019 and not bring Parasite into the conversation. It's just, you're not a reviewer. I'm sorry. Because, yes, Parasite is a great movie. It's a very small Korean movie that, a low budget, but it's still an amazing movie. You cannot avoid. The moment you call your channel a review channel, then review fucking products.
Rob, can I throw a curveball question in there?
Sure.
So obviously there was some wars going on the other week, particularly between obviously ourselves and Ben from Price Plow. He gave us a lot of heat for no real apparent reason. Obviously, we're an unsponsored, unpaid channel that give 100% honest reviews. What's your opinion on his attacks on us, on other honest review channels that are around?
I've been attacked in the last couple of weeks by a few people.
Mm.
I'm not talking about reviews. I'm talking about complete nobodies. And the main reason usually for attacks, and no offense, because I'm not saying if that's the strategy by Ben or anyone else, I'm not gonna state something I don't know. You know by now my motto about facts. I either state facts, meaning I know. If I'm saying it's a fact, you arguing with me makes you extremely stupid. Because, even though I'm partially colorblind, I can see that Aaron is wearing right now a red t-shirt. Craig saying that it's not a red t-shirt would make him look extremely dumb because it's a fact. So, and if I was, because I'm colorblind, partially colorblind, if that color was slightly off, I would not say what color t-shirt Aaron is wearing because I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. So I'm going to shut the fuck up and let Craig talk. And whatever he's going to say, I'm still not going to argue with him. Even if I think that perhaps he's wrong, I'm going to keep quiet because I don't know.
Yeah.
So whenever I say something, it's only for the fact that I know. So I'm not going to attack Ben or Price Plow for that matter in terms of why they're attacking you because I don't know. What I do know is typically attacks are happening for a few reasons. People want to get attention. It gives them attention. Sometimes it's good. It's a good strategy. Sometimes it can backfire. You got to be very, very careful at who you attack and how you attack and what you're using as means for attack. Because if you're accusing, and I know you were accused basically of reviewing DMA products and such, and you and I, we talk a lot. I mean, will talk about Van Damme movies. We will talk about, different things. You've been to my gym. I consider you friends. So we talk about various subjects. And there are many times where you would review something, and I will say it to you guys, this is garbage. It's absolute garbage. I don't even listen to the review because I'm not interested in a product because I'm not buying it. I mean, the moment I see the label, I already know what I think about the brand, what I think about the product. So most of the time, I admit I don't even watch the reviews because I'm just not interested. If it's somebody that I respect or it's a good product, so I can learn something from it, then definitely I'll watch. But if it's something crappy, I just have no interest. So you were basically accused of that. There is a reason why I disagree with that attack. I think that, every product that you come across, if you're calling yourself an honest review channel, you should. It's your job. You have to. It's not a matter of whether you want to or not. You must review that product. You must review that product because if that product ends up on a shelf somewhere in a store, that product has to be reviewed. Good product, bad product, shit product, garbage product, spiked product, research product, doesn't matter. If it ends up on a shelf or it's for sale, I think you owe it to consumer to review that product. I think it's an absolutely must. Otherwise, you're not a fucking review channel. I think you're a fraud. Review it and do the customers justice by trashing that product, destroy that product.
Everyone agreed with that. Yeah.
If it feels good, because labels are just labels and we don't know what's inside, it's very, very possible that you're going to feel good from a given product. But the moment it says proprietary blend or the moment it says DMA, DMHA, especially in the United States, to find real DMA, I think it's close to impossible, especially from legit manufacturer. Legit manufacturer is never going to touch it, which means that it's done underground, which means it can contain DMA, it can contain, amphetamine, it can contain underdose product, it can contain whatever. It's the same thing as the underground steroid market. There is a difference between a legit company or not. Should it be reviewed? Absolutely. And if you refuse to review it, then I don't think you're an honest review company.
When you
review everything that ends up in the store.
You stick to the mainstream brands, it becomes very, it's very obvious. And obviously, we was very, very lucky that in terms of we had hundreds of comments on a post and, actually probably did work into the hundreds of DMs with people agreeing that we do need to review the entire supplement spectrum. So it's good to see that people still want reviews of everything.
Yeah,
So,
Well, I think that attack actually made you even more popular
yeah,
because it brought a lot of attention to you. So it's not necessarily bad criticism. Sometimes can work out wonders, and I think it worked in your favor.
mm,
Uh, I think, like I said, uh, I know you had a disagreement with, and I want to touch upon that. You had a disagreement with Fitness Informant with Ryan.
mm, yeah,
Ryan and I go way back, and our war was pretty much very, very known in the industry. I actually befriended Lucas Rutkowski
yeah,
from Poland, who works for Prometheus. We became great friends.
yeah.
He
He's very
introduced me
nice.
to Shane from Stack 3D. By the way, I think Shane is probably a perfect example of what I can't say that he's a review channel, but he's a perfect platform for introducing
Advertisements.
products to the market. He does
Mm,
advertising, he does marketing, he does announcements, he does reviews, he does podcasts, he does all at once. And you will never hear me criticizing him because I think what he does is an absolute amazing job. And I think in the
mm,
platform that he created, I don't think anyone can come close. He's just I mean, we talk occasionally. He's an incredible human being.
mm.
Great, great guy. Fantastic sense of humor. The first conversation we had, it was as if I'd known him for years. Just a great guy. And through Shane and Lucas, I got to talk to Ryan, Fitness
Okay.
Informant,
Yeah, yeah.
who I did not like very much. I was, like I said, he didn't like me. I didn't like him. We attacked each other left and right. I mean, it was very, very much in the open. However, and I have to be honest about this. We talked on the phone and we exchanged a couple of messages. Ryan is a great guy. He actually is not a bad person. He is what he does. He actually admits, like, this is what I do for a living. I'm providing for my daughter.
Mm,
I don't like high STEM products, and he has the right not to like it. And we, in a way, kind of apologize to each other for the kind of maybe even unnecessary attacks on each other because we never talked. So we basically just attacked each other. You know, we both perhaps had points,
mm.
uh, and we still don't agree on everything, but there is mutual respect. Ryan actually helped Apollon quite a bit in the last couple of months. And I can assure you, he did not take a dime for it. Not $1. Nothing. In
Mm.
fact, sometimes I text him to get advice on certain things. He's been in the industry for quite some time. And there is nothing I can say that, is bad. And in fact, I texted him and I said, I know you have a certain problem with review brothers, and it's on a different, I guess, note from Price Law. Whether they see eye to eye or not, it's none of my business. And I told him I'm not going to get involved, and I hope it's resolved. But um, like I said, I respect the fact that he came forward. He did not run away from confrontation. None of that. We had already few conversations on the phone. We were even planning to meet at FIBO, and we still have plans to meet, when he comes to visit in New Jersey. But Ryan doesn't hide the fact of what business he's running. I mean, he's very successful with the recent launch of his peanut butter, and I'm happy for him. The guy definitely works his ass off. Um, it's different. He doesn't call himself a reviewer. He provides more of a marketing platform, kind of maybe like Stack 3D, but slightly different. There are still things that me and him maybe disagree on certain things, but we don't have to agree on everything and still be polite and respectful to each other and even friendly.
Mm.
Everything can be resolved. The attacks on you, I thought, were by Price Plot, by Ben. I don't think that they were needed. I don't think they were fair. And like I said, when somebody is attacking a certain channel because they review DMA products or DMHA products or whatever products,
Mm.
um, well, You have a problem with that. Well, I have a problem that you review 5 products, and let's face it, not all of them are exactly very good products.
Yeah.
Not all of them are very good brands.
Hmm.
Yet you're hyping them up, and that doesn't look very good. And sometimes I've seen, a case where you would hype a one product and a very similar product you would trash.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I just wanted to for people who are going to obviously view this this episode right now, I just wanted to just give a sort of brief explanation as to what actually happened with Ryan from Fitness Informant. So we've never really had much dealings with him at all until obviously the last week, to such a degree that obviously we was doing our question and answers on a Instagram platform, and someone just put in the comment, or a question, should I say, what do you think of Fitness Informant's sudden growth, or whatever it may be, on Instagram? And we just happened to notice that, we knew roughly about a couple of months ago he was on 8,000 roughly followers, and it had all jumped to 15,000, and we just had a very brief look through, and they were very, very, very obviously fake accounts. So we weren't in a really position to ignore the question, nor were we in a position really to call him out directly. So we just answered the question without tagging, and we were just like, sometimes that's what people have to do to pull in business, to make themselves look perhaps more successful, and perhaps that wasn't actually the case. And then obviously we had the direct call out on the Fitness Informant wall, and since then actually we put a comment on there and we've not had a response to that comment. So perhaps it goes down obviously the route that you and Ryan have had yourself. Perhaps it starts off with this animosity and perhaps debates, and maybe one day that hatchet can be buried. It obviously did, upset's a strong word, but to see that his following had all of a sudden jumped in front of ours, it did kind of, hang on a minute, we've worked hard for our following, for you to potentially just buy this following. It did grind on us a bit. So perhaps we jumped the gun a little bit, but again, it was just a question we was asked on the channel. So maybe one day that this all can be resolved. And you know what, I hope that, because I don't like the debates, I don't like the wars. I think sometimes they're necessary.
Sometimes they are necessary, and you know what? When it comes to wars, like in this industry, I know that in the last 5 years, partially thanks to you, partially thanks to TJ, I think the real star of the reason is definitely the brand itself, because over the years, people that tried Apollo Nutrition realize how good of a brand it is. And I'm tremendously proud of what we accomplished so far. And I honestly think that if it wasn't for the current situation in the world, we were growing fast. I mean, so right now we derailed a little bit like everybody else. But nevertheless, we still got quite a few accounts, great partners. The feedback from people has been absolutely incredible. I think we have a few surprises definitely in the next few weeks, few months that are coming. And, usually I deliver on my promise. I think that wars are necessary, and I'll explain why. Just like you said, I don't like them. They give me anxiety. They make me uncomfortable. I don't like fighting. I really don't. But the thing is, it's like sometimes it's necessary. If somebody's attacking what you work so hard for, if somebody's attacking your integrity, if somebody is attacking your brand, if somebody is attacking your reputation, you obligated to fight back. You have to fight back. I'm not saying necessarily physically, although that is sometimes comes handy too. But the thing is that you have to stand your ground, because the thing is in a way, it's a little bit kind of a bullying, and you have to stand up for yourself, because if you don't, I firmly believe that it's going to continue. Sometimes you have to step up and retaliate. You have to. You cannot take punches and just kind of roll with it, because it makes you, well, number one, it makes you look kind of guilty. People say like ignore. Yes, if there is somebody with 3 followers who's posting on your Instagram that you suck or ugly or something like that, just ignore and block, because They obviously have no life, they nobodies, and they're just trying to get attention from you because you are popular, because you are known. Oh, look, I just engaged with, with Review Brothers. That's kind of cool. That kind of makes you relevant,
I love that.
because you're nobody. In real life, you probably saw the person and they would never even dare to approach you or say something to you in person. So they're attacking your social media, and you should definitely 100%. I'm a firm believer you should ignore.
Yeah, and we
Some,
did
but
take that criticism on board. We were like, okay, so they've got this problem with us reviewing these sketchy pre-workouts. We'll put a post up and ask our followers if they think this is, morally correct or not. And like Aaron touched on, 99% of the comments agreed with us. So we did actually take that criticism on board and put it out to our followers and get a bit of feedback as to whether we're on the right path or not. And I think that all of the positivity showed that we are on the right path. And so that's why we're sticking to our guns with it all.
I think you can't avoid it. Yeah, you can't. You're reviewing products. You calling yourself an honest review channel. The thing is like, speaking of review channels, right now they're everywhere. They're everywhere. And in my opinion, there are probably 2 or 3 review channels that I honestly can say are A, knowledgeable, B, honest. And I literally say 2 or 3. Some of them are just horrendous, and they're reaching to me every day. Can we review your product? Can we review your product? Well, the truth is, you don't need to ask my permission to review the product. I'm sending the product for reviews, free product, to those that I believe will do the best job, not kissing my ass. Because the thing is that if I send my product to your channel, am I worried that you're gonna give me a 1 or 2 stars? Absolutely not. I know I'm the very least I'm getting is 4.5 stars. It has nothing to do because I'm arrogant. It has nothing to do that I'm cocky. It has nothing to do with our friendship. It's because I know that you know ingredients. I know that you can read. And I know that I put max doses into the fucking formula. I work my ass off. The only thing I might get criticism from you is maybe the taste. But then again, am I worried about that? Not really, because you are saying what your personal experience. Well, there is only 2 of you. There is 300 other people who might disagree with you when it comes to taste. It's no big deal. There are pollen products that that you like probably more than I do when it comes to taste, and vice versa. Taste is important, but taste is not the main thing, because we all different. We all have different taste buds. So it doesn't really. So if you're gonna say like, Craig's gonna say like, oh, you know what, this flavor for me personally, it's okay. It's not my favorite. Well, maybe Craig likes very sweet things. I don't. And I know, believe it or not, me and Carolina, we have completely different opinions when it comes to taste. I like moderately sweet, not too sweet, and kind of like very mild flavors. I don't like strong flavors. Well, she's actually a fan of sour. She likes sour. I don't.
Oh, really?
I just yeah. She likes when it's a little bit sour. She likes a little bit that citrusy taste.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of it. I'm just not. So if I'm gonna say to you, you know what, that flavor is disgusting, well, you might try it and you might actually like it. So taste, it's very, very personal, and I like when people add to it my personal opinion. Don't say that the taste is like garbage or something like that. No, it's personal. It's personal. Some people like it, some people don't. However, I know the formula is going to be on the money. I know I'm getting my 4 or 5 stars. There is no other way. That's the reason why I'm so calm, because I know that you're going to go through ingredients. I know where it's manufactured. I have the certificate of analysis, and I know how you're going to feel about it. So am I worried? No. I'm actually extremely confident because I know what I'm sending you. But when I have, on the other hand, if I don't want to send you a product and use some crappy review channel, well, guess what? You can go to the store, purchase my product, and you can still shit all over it because you're clueless or whatever. Will I defend myself? 100%. If you're going to go after me and you call yourself a review channel, but you're going to go after me, will I fight back? I will fight back. Not only will I fight back, I guarantee you I'm going to win. One way or the other, I will win. I'm going to go out of my way to bring you down if you're going to attack me. Don't talk about me. Don't bring my name into conversation in any way, form, or shape, because the reason is I know what I'm putting out there. I know the type of product that I have. You don't like me? That's fine. You know what? Go live on social media and say Rob sucks. We cool. Do not attack my family. Do not attack my friends. Do not attack my brand. Because yes, we will have a problem. One way or the other, we will have a problem. And that's the reason why I said that honest review channels, knowledgeable people, there are only very few that I actually know will give it the right review. I'm never worried when my products are reviewed by you. I'm not really worried when my products are reviewed by TJ. And I'm most definitely not worried by my products reviewed by Robert Chinetsky, who I think, on the record, is the best and most knowledgeable person when it comes to ingredients.
Yeah. Very good. Very, very good.
I think he's absolutely fantastic. And, you know, when somebody says, because they want to talk shit, you know, a pollen formula, blah, blah, blah. Well, guess what? One of the best things about being friends with somebody like Robert Chinetsky, before I even release a formula, I send it to him for criticism. And sometimes he actually gives me advice, well, get this ingredient in it, get that ingredient in it. So I'm releasing a formula that I know backed by science, that has clinical doses, and on top of it, backed by somebody who is probably the best in the industry. So what can you say against me? How can you not put my product in a top 10?
Yeah.
Just because I didn't pay you, you're going to try to ignore me, and you're going to say that a certain product is the best on the market, and you think I'm not going to have a problem with it? Absolutely, I'm going to have a problem with it.
Yeah, it's always the same 4 or 5 brands getting all these awards and whatnot. It's like, well, why are you ignoring all of the other ones that are brilliant? Like, there's more than 4 or 5 brands in the world. And that brings me on to my next question, which is, what's your opinion on these review channels giving out awards to the different brands, you know, brand of the year and all this other stuff? Best tasting protein.
Best tasting's the best one.
Yeah.
You remember a couple of, maybe I think last year, we made an open challenge.
Yeah.
Let's go to any gym and, you know, let's put out all these best tasting protein. I will bet. I'm willing to challenge anyone to compete with us on, you know, whether they better tasting than we are.
Yeah.
Let's do it. And I always said, if you win, I'll shake your hand.
Yeah.
Well, right now it's social distancing, so I'll wave at you.
Yeah.
You know, but the thing is like, just because you sent it to a review channel that you just paid, and all of a sudden, you know, whoever pays more becomes the best tasting protein, that's absolute crock of shit.
Yeah.
That's just bullshit.
One example of that right off the bat is, I keep seeing it. I don't know why I keep seeing it, but NutraBio is the best tasting protein. I mean, I've tried 3 or 4 of the different flavors, and I've just got to be honest and disagree. I don't think they're awful by any stretch, but to say they're better, that I would be struggling to say they're even in the top 40%.
Yeah.
So NutraBio, obviously, and Apollon, we go way back because they were the first ones to manufacture our products. You know, and I always gave Mark credit for it, and I always was very grateful for his help and for his support. But at the same time, best tasting protein. So you have basically this is my problem with it. Ben used to work for NutraBio. He's no longer working for NutraBio. He works for PricePlow. Yet, you know, he always very basically says that it's the best company, best product, best brand, best everything. It's to me, it's a little bit strange. Here's what I find strange. I find strange that I think 2 days ago, I saw Mike reviewing banana protein that is about to be released or released by NutraBio. And, you know, he said that it's game changer. That's the best tasting protein. That's like, you know, no banana flavor is better than that one. Okay. But let's be honest, did we expect anything less of him to say? I mean, if he said that the flavor sucked, all of us would be super surprised.
Yeah.
Super surprised. I mean, we would be absolutely astonished. And at the same time, I find it very, very interesting that other channels are not saying the same about NutriBioProtein. I don't see TJ saying that it's the best tasting protein. I don't see you saying that it's the best tasting protein. But every flavor that they release, it's the best, the best, the best, the best, the best. I know that Mark is trying to release the best products, and I know that Mark is passionate about it. I know he's very, very competitive. I know that he is striving to be the best he can, brand on the market. I love the fact that he does, fully transparent labels.
Yeah, very
good. But let's face it, NutriBio, and this is, like I said, this is just giving credit where credit due. They were the first brand to ever release fully transparent products. It's a fact. You can't take it away from them. However, the one person who really made transparency known and really kind of, I would say, revolutionized the market when it comes to transparency and got everybody attention to what full transparency is. And it's somebody I don't like. But again, we have to be honest, and that's Jim Stepani. Jim Stepani was the first one to really make an impact with doing so many videos and putting out so much content in terms of, what transparency is. We all kind of followed him, even though NutriBio was way before, they launched way before Jim Stepani, way before him. And again, and I'm not a fan of that, of this particular person. I think Jim Stepani is cocky, arrogant, disrespectful, and obnoxious. But we always have to be, that's what makes you a reviewer. That's what makes you an honest person, stating the fact.
Yeah, and you're going to make enemies along the way because not everyone's going to agree with you, especially when it comes to taste. It's so discretionary. Like, it's not a black and white thing, is it? Like, perhaps the ingredients panel might be. But with taste, it's like, one person could hate it, one person could love it. It's tricky.
If I would pay, I want to say review company, but if I would pay somebody to advertise for me and to talk about, my products and stuff like that, I mean, again, there is nothing wrong with it. I have done it before. I'm not denying it. I have paid to sponsor channels. So there is nothing wrong with it. But I would never pay you money to say anything about my flavors. I can't. I think that's dishonest. I understand that business is business, but at the same time, I would not pay you to say that I have the best flavors. How do I know that I have phenomenal flavors? I know by feedback from customers that comes back again and again and again and again and again, nonstop. So I know I have good flavors. I'm confident that I have the best. Well, I think I have the best flavors, but do I actually have the best flavors? No. I would love to compete against other brands in a fair competition where we would have 50, maybe 100 people. It's not that hard. You can do it at any gym. Where we would put 5, 6, 10 brands, and let people judge. Let's see where everybody stands. Obviously we cannot probably compare isolate to casein or or egg protein because they all have different textures and they some of them are more difficult to flavor. But isolate against isolate, casein against casein, a blend against blend. That way you can find out who did it best. Same flavors, chocolate against chocolate. We can figure out who is the best. In terms of what Stack 3D does, brand of the year. Stack 3D, I have no problem with what they do. I think that platform Shane is honest. I think he's a great guy. He's very knowledgeable, and he does everything right by the book. I'll be honored if Shane said that, I'm in the top 10 or top 5. I would be absolutely honored. And I'm working very, very hard to achieve that goal. And I haven't paid him a dime. And if I make it, great. If I don't, I'll just work harder. That's it.
Yeah.
But there is something immoral. It's the same thing as going into a ring and paying somebody to get knocked out. You can't. You can't pay and say oh, please say that I have the best flavor. Well, here's the problem with that. I'm going to pay you and say, Aaron Craig, please say that Apollo Nutrition is the best flavor out there. And you're going to think it sucks, but you're going to say it's the best flavor. Well, now we're going to sell to 20 people that follow you. Well, guess what? If the flavor sucks, they're gonna go like, well, number one, a pollen sucks. It's not true.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen next? You just lost following.
Yeah,
You
I think
just
that's
lost
why I've
people's
used it
trust.
so well.
If you're gonna say like, in my personal opinion, this is the best and here is why, okay, but if you're gonna constantly lie, sooner or later you're gonna get caught. You're
Yeah,
gonna get caught
100%.
because I can sell you any pre-workout. If I'm good at marketing, I'm gonna tell you. And say, for example, you're not knowledgeable when it comes to ingredients, and you're not knowledgeable when it comes to uh, products, ingredients, doses, etc. I'm going to say this is the best pre-workout on the market. You can't go wrong with it. Please buy it. So you buy it. You don't like it. You don't like it. Maybe you're going to take my advice one more time because you're intelligent and you're going to say, well, maybe this one didn't work for me, but you know what? They said that one is good. So you're buying a second one. Well, you bought once or twice based on my recommendation. Both of those recommendations were false. You're going to stop listening to me. So now I'm unable to sell you shit because you don't trust me. I just lost your trust. So all that money that somebody paid me to lie, or to say something by the script, it's out of the window. It just doesn't exist.
And that's exactly why you'll see these other review channels with views that have, they've got coming on 20k subscribers, but they're getting views of like 100, 200, and we're still staying in the thousands of views, because I think we've been honest about every single thing the whole time we've been running this channel. Every single product, we've never been paid, we've never been sponsored to run a review. I think we just keep it 100% honest, and that we're playing the long game, because you know what, perhaps one day we'd like to release our own supplement brand, and we want people to believe our word. We're not in this for the quick dime, the quick buck. We're keeping 100% honest, and I think the views and the follows truly portray that, and that's what myself and Craig want to keep doing forever.
Well, I see other brands. I'm actually, friends with a couple of guys from the industry. I don't want to sound like everybody's an asshole because it's not true. I'm friends with the owner of Iron Brothers Supplements. I think he's a great guy,
Yeah.
and we message each other a few times a week at least. He sends me his products, I send him my products. We post each other's products on our social media, and he does make good products. I trust his company. I would have no problem recommending his products to anyone. And at the same time, Nick, the owner of Rage, craziest motherfucker ever, but Nick releases good products. His pre-workout is actually a legitimately good product.
Yeah.
And again, I just received by mail his newest pre-workout. I haven't taken it yet, but I saw the label, and it's great. It's great, and I expected that it's going to be great. I expected that Nick's going to put out a great label. He's going to put out a great, product, and I expected nothing else. And these guys, they're supporting me. They always have my back. I obviously return the favor. Why? Because they're just good, honest, genuine people. So not everybody in the industry is a scumbag. So because I don't want people to listen to this podcast and say like, well, supplement industry, everybody sucks. It's not true. It's not true. Not everybody sucks. Not everybody is a crook. Not everybody wants to make money, but I don't think anything is wrong with it. Everybody's trying to make a living. At the same time, there are a couple of brand owners, even locally, who absolutely despise me. Absolutely despise me. And I see little jabs here and there. Nothing was said direct yet. But I've seen like things. Caffeine is bad, and and stuff like that. Even though we've been over it, caffeine is not bad, and it's urban legend. Just because your products are not as strong does not mean that you should attack my products. I haven't attacked you yet, but I can tell you this: that there are a couple of brands that, just for now, I'm going to give not the benefit of a doubt, because I know that they've been attacking me. At least two. One in particular that I'm seriously getting fed up with. And considering they're not that far from here, I will definitely confront them without a doubt. No social media wars, no nothing like that. Because like I said, unless I've been directly attacked, like you've been directly attacked a week ago by your name was brought up on a channel or on a podcast, you have to retaliate. I was not attacked in terms of like directly, but I've been attacked behind my back. I've been attacked by people reaching out to my friends or people that I know. So I know that uh, there's definitely action that's been taken kind of like to attack my persona, to attack my brand, to discredit me. Uh, Nobody hurt me, but I'm getting annoyed. And of course, I'll deal with it because, like I said, I will always retaliate and I will always make sure it's not about being sensitive. It's not about being um, aggressive. It's about protecting. You work very hard for your channel. So if
Yeah.
somebody's going to attack you, you will have to take a stance, even if you don't like to fight. I
Mm.
don't like to fight, but sometimes it's necessary to protect your territory. If somebody's going to say, I have the best brand, I don't have a problem with that. If somebody's going to say, I have the best tasting protein, I don't have a problem with that. I mean, if you're challenging me, then say, Rob, how about my protein against your protein blind taste? You got it. I will never say no. Never.
Mm.
It's not going to happen. Let's do
Mm.
it. And if you win, great. I mean, phenomenal. That means I have to work harder and to improve my flavor. We don't have a problem with that. But if you behind my back trying to attack me, we're going to have a problem. Even during this conversation, we brought up, say, Price Claw, for example. I was not attacking. They did not attack me. I'm not attacking them. I
Yeah.
think they're being unfair. I disagree with the way they do things. I do think that Price Claw was the best, or among the best, when Robert was part of it. That's my personal opinion. But I just simply express my opinion. And that's it. But if somebody wants to attack, obviously I will retaliate, and I will not hesitate for a split second.
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Right.
knowing when to attack and when to let things slide. But like you say, when they're direct, you don't really have a choice.
Sometimes you don't have a choice because you have to protect your interests, your brand and something you're working very, very hard for. Just
Yeah.
leave me the fuck alone. Do your thing. Release your crappy products, or even good products for that matter. Good for you. If you have good product out there, phenomenal. I mean, the fact that I already saw 4 hooligans on the market, I'm super happy about it
Yeah.
because that means I'm doing something wrong that somebody's trying to copy me. Like, I don't get angry. I don't reach out to my lawyer. I don't sue anyone. Well, I'll probably post a picture because I'm flattered. I'm
Yeah.
really, really flattered because I know once you turn that container to the supplement facts, and game over
Gonna get
because you
blown
don't
out.
you don't match me.
Yeah, exactly.
My phone's typically running out of battery.
Yeah,
Oh,
I thought you were after a charger. Let me just run through the questions. I just want to make sure we've covered everything. Is that all right, Rob?
yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
What we got here?
What do you think of the Mike Tyson comeback?
Mike Tyson, good. Listen, if George Foreman was fat and slow, but still won the belt because he punches so hard, why not Mike Tyson? We've seen the video of what he can do still. You know,
Yeah.
he's scary.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to be on the other side of
Yeah, I
that.
mean, the bottom line is whether you're 53 or 23, if you're gonna get hit by that force, you're going to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
And from what I saw, the body transformation and everything else, I mean, phenomenal. I'm always, a lot of people saying he has no business of fighting, but who are we to say otherwise? If the guy wants to
Mm.
fight and he still believes that he has what it takes, good. I mean, I know that I will gladly pay the ticket for that.
Yeah, it just goes to show
Definitely.
that in some cases maybe age isn't such a factor.
Well, we've seen guys in their 20s who have no cardio, who suck,
Yeah,
who have no business being in a ring. And you have somebody who, I mean, I've met Mike Tyson 2 years ago. and was talking to him. I was next to him, and the guy looked like he was 70 and overweight, like very, very, very overweight. Now I'm looking at him, and he's scary.
Yeah.
I know I don't want to get into the ring with him.
Talking of which, are you getting in the ring again?
Yeah, that's another question.
I would love to. I would absolutely love to. I haven't been training Muay Thai for a couple of months, and even somebody like Mike Tyson coming out of retirement makes he inspires me. He inspires, I'm pretty sure, everybody. I want to train. I would love to be in a ring again. I would love to do it all over again. I still think that I'm capable, and as I told you in the beginning of this interview, if I believe I can win a fight, I'll gladly fight, and I still believe that I can. I still believe. The moment I'll lose that belief in myself, that's probably the end of it. Right now, with work and business and everything else, of course, it's very challenging to train, but I would absolutely love to. On the other hand, don't be surprised if I knock out somebody in real life.
We're looking forward
There are
looking
clearly
forward to
people who are asking for it.
Royal Rumble going. But yeah, we've seen you fight, and it's scary, so we won't ever start.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to be on the other side of you, Rob, put it that way.
But I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
You are.
But
really.
sometimes you just have to, sometimes you have to protect yourself.
100%.
People can attack you with words, not necessarily with fists. And sometimes, sometimes it's, if their parents didn't do a good job teaching them about such simple things as respect and being classy and being nice and not to talk shit behind people's back, then sometimes you are forced to teach them so it doesn't happen in the future. So in essence, you're doing them a favor. If somebody does not understand a nice approach by talking to him, if I ask you not to do something and you attack my character or my brand and I face you or reach out to you through, through a text message or a phone call and I ask you nicely, please stop doing it. And you still continue, well, next time I'm not going to be that nice. And if you're not going to understand that, then you're going to force me to, because you're trying to hurt me. You're trying to hurt my character. You're trying to hurt my reputation. You're trying to hurt my brand. So if you don't understand words, sometimes there are other means to explain to you that you can do it. Again, clearly you were brought up in the wrong way if you don't understand the word respect.
Yeah.
And I'm doing your children a favor too, because maybe you will teach your children not to be assholes like you are.
Yeah, exactly. That's why sometimes you just can't argue with some people, can you?
Yeah, it's impossible. Some people just do not understand nice. If something aggravates you and something, or no, doesn't even aggravate you, something is wrong. And I always believe, we just received a letter from the governor. Well, I haven't received, but I know people received a letter stating that if somebody's going to reopen a business against the governor's order, the first one is going to be a warning. The second one's going to be a fine. And the third one's going to be criminal charges. So there are levels to it. So the same thing I believe in I don't believe in violence. I don't believe in, taking it to the limit right away or anything like that. I believe in being nice. One of my favorite movies, Roadhouse, with Patrick Swayze, where he is a bouncer, he says that everything you do, you have to be nice. If somebody's starting shit in a bar, you try to calm them down by being nice. You're trying to walk them out of the bar by being nice. And the guy says, what if somebody says that my mom is a whore? Well, is she? It's just a combination of a few words to get you to be violent. So you always be nice. But when there is absolutely no choice and you have to defend your ground, you have to defend your business, you have to defend your family, your reputation, your honor, and you have kids who are looking up to you, I don't want them to read bullshit and garbage about me on social media. Then you have to answer for it. You will have to answer for it.
Yeah,
and we can settle it anyway, but trust me, you will not do it again. You will not do it again. One way or the other one, you will have to stop. Hopefully, you will understand by me being nice. Everything can be resolved, I think, by talking and communicating, and there is no need for bullshit.
Yeah,
exactly.
What other questions you have?
I think, you know what, I think that is everything, unless there's anything else you wanted to discuss personally.
Personally, I'm just, you know what, let's maybe finish it with address to people that think that maybe their feelings got hurt or maybe their characters got attacked by this podcast, by this interview. But honestly, this was just a conversation among three friends on a Saturday afternoon. You know, pretty simple. I think that if we didn't have this recorded, I think we would have a very, very similar conversation in real life. You know, I have no issues with anyone, but if they have issues with me, my phone number is very easy to find out. You know, I will always answer. I can always talk. We can always resolve it peacefully. And you know, if I offended anyone, I'm always willing to apologize because it's not my it's not in my character to offend anyone. However, I just want to make sure and maybe take this opportunity to reinforce my personal stance. You don't like Apollon, it's okay. You know, there are a lot of brands. I really think, and I'm going to stand by this, that we are, let's avoid the word the best. We are among the very best on the market, the very best on the market, and we're going to keep getting better and better and better. You will never see me cut corners. If you don't like the brand, move on.
Exactly.
If you want to compete, let's do, I don't know, a taste, blind taste test or something like that. I'm all for it. We can have a discussion in the open or behind the scenes. Do not attack me. I will not attack you.
Yeah,
You
I think that's
attack
very
me, be
fair.
ready that I will retaliate one way or the other.
Yeah. Be interesting to see if there is any fallback of this, but I guess it's a case of if the shoe fits.
You know what? I mean, I think that honestly, anyone who has a problem with you or me, with you guys or with myself, I would suggest not calling us out. Especially, you might say something, on social media that you disagree or whatever. That's fine. If you're planning to attack, be ready for retaliation. And sometimes it's not going to be because the truth and facts are always going to be. They will always win. You cannot go against facts.
Exactly.
We can discuss, and like I said, we can discuss, we can talk about it, and we can resolve any issue peacefully. There is no need. The reason why there are so many supplements on the market, because the market is wide open. There is market for everybody. I don't plan on discrediting anyone. Stay in your own lane, make your own products, let people review whatever they want to review. If you're going to be dishonest about your review, well, be ready that it's going to backfire. Because, everybody has their pride.
Yeah.
And that's it.
I agree. I guess my final piece would be, and also a very similar to yours, sort of an open invite just to anyone who doesn't believe our reviews or has problems with us, just DM us on Instagram. Our we've got social media all over the place. It would just be a lot better if you used to do it that way than call us out on a public forum, because obviously it's not ended well for anyone who has done so far. So we're more than happy to to speak to people in DMs, and that's it really.
I don't think calling you out would be smart for anyone.
No,
just because of the fact that I know, people can believe me or not. I know that I've never written you a check. I never paid you for any reviews. And I'm always anxious to see, because you became so creative with your reviews that they're both educational. Maybe educational is not the best word for it, but they're very comprehensive and the entertaining as well. And it's actually fun to watch. And you're breaking down each and every ingredient. You're explaining to people what to expect from a given product. And, you go over taste, you go over pricing, you go over, how you feel in the gym taking a certain product. I don't think attacking you or your character or how you do things is necessary. In terms of what you choose to review, well, it's your choice. And if somebody sends you a product that it's a garbage product, well, it's fine too. People deserve to know what's good and what's bad on the market. It's not even about a review and grading a product. It's about teaching. It's about, anyone can say, oh, I'm a review guy. You review based on what? How you review a channel if you don't know shit about ingredients?
Yeah.
If you don't know ingredients, how can you claim that something is good? You know, there is a different steak is steak, but there is filet mignon and there is a shitty cut. They're still
Yeah.
steak, but they taste quite differently and cost quite differently too.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, anyone can start a channel. But look, I'm pretty sure that when you started a channel, there are probably another dozen of people who started their review channels, and they didn't grow as quick and as substantial as you did. There is there is always a reason.
Yeah.
That's it.
100%.
Thank you for that, Rob.
Yeah.
It's been awesome having you, speaking to you again. Looking forward to getting this uploaded, seeing the feedback, and I hope to speak to you again soon, really. And we'll always come up with more questions. So we'll definitely do this again soon.
Thank you,
100%.
guys. I really appreciate it. Stay safe, and
You too,
hopefully we
Rob.
will still get together in 2020.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed. All the best, Rob.
Enjoy
Thanks,
the rest
guys.
of your
Have a
night.
good weekend, and thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Thank
You
you for
too.
your time. See you later.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.